Introduction to Probability. All of you must have played the infamous game Snakes and Ladders. You had to roll a die to proceed in the game. When you roll a dice, sometimes you get the desired number and sometimes you do not. Now, if we roll this die, what are the chances that you will get a particular number? We cannot predict it with total certainty, but we can say how likely it is going to happen using the idea of probability. When a die is thrown, there are 6 possible outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The probability of the occurrence of a particular number is 1 upon 6. Probability of happening an event is equal to number of ways it can happen upon total number of possible outcomes. Now let's observe what are the chances of the occurrence of number 2 when we roll this die. Number of ways it can happen is 1. Only one face has 2 on it. As the die has 6 faces, the total number of possible outcomes is equal to 6. Hence, the probability of occurrence of 2 is 1 upon 6. Now let's look at some more examples. If we toss a coin, what are the chances that we will get a head? Let's find out. When a coin is tossed, there are 2 possible outcomes, head or tail. Hence, the probability of the occurrence of a head is 1 upon 2. And the probability of the occurrence of a tail is 1 upon 2. The value of probability always varies from 0 to 1. With the possibility of happening of an event is impossible, we say its probability is 0. For example, if we roll a die, the chances of the occurrence of number 7 are 0. Hence, we can say the value of probability of this event is 0. When the possibility of happening of an event is certain, we say its probability is 1. For example, the occurrence of a natural number each time we roll a die is certain. Hence, we can say the value of probability of this event is 1. Although we cannot predict outcomes of an event with absolute certainty, but probability gives us an idea how likely a particular outcome might occur. There are certain experiments where the results have equal chances of occurring. For example, the experiment of tossing a coin always results in either head or tail. Both the results have equal chance of occurring. It may be tail, it may be head. When we roll a die, it can land up on any of its sides, showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We always know in advance that it will land on either of the 6 faces. But at a particular roll, we cannot tell in advance that which side it will land up. Such experiments are known as random experiments. A random experiment is one whose outcome cannot be predicted exactly in advance. For example, while tossing a coin, we already know that it will show either head or tail. But in a particular toss, it is difficult to predict the result. Outcome. Any result of a single trial of an experiment is called the outcome of that experiment. For example, when rolling a die once, it lands on phase 2. It is an outcome of the experiment of rolling a die once. Outcome as event. Each outcome of an experiment or a collection of outcomes makes an event. For example, getting an even number could be an event of the experiment rolling a die once. When all the outcomes of a random experiment have the same chance of occurring, they are called equally likely outcomes. For example, while rolling a 6-faced die, it is clear that there are only 6 possible outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. By no means any of these outcomes can be changed. Hence, all these outcomes have equally likely chance to happen. These outcomes are called equally likely outcomes.
First of exercise 5.3. So question number first is list the outcomes you can see in this experiment. So here two experiments are given and you have to find out the outcomes. You have to list all the outcomes that are that we have. Okay, so first is spinning a wheel. So this is a wheel and alphabet is write down on this wheel. A 2 times B C D. So you have to list all the outcomes that is occurred. So आपको सभी outcomes की मतलब जो outcomes means जो नतीजे आपके सामने आएंगे spinning a wheel को spinning करने पे that means जो outcomes आएंगे आपको उन सभी की list बनानी है. So here the outcomes is equal to A. ओके या तो आपके पास A आएगा और B और C और D. So this is our answer of question number first A. ओके so outcomes क्या आएंगे आपके पास या तो outcomes में आपके पास A आएगा या फिर B या फिर C या फिर D. So ये four outcomes basically आपके पास आएंगे. Now let's do question number B of question number first. Tossing 2 points together. अगर 2 points को हम टॉस करेंगे एक साथ में here this is given that tossing 2 points together. So there are 2 points, first point and second point. So जब हम इन दोनों points को टॉस करेंगे so या तो आपके पास first point में head होगा and second point will be tail. Okay, next situation is reverse that first point will be tail or second point will be head. Okay, third outcome is both